I don't think we've seen this play out to the full extent yet. I think over the next 72 hours, we're going to see a fundamentally different picture for the Ukrainian Air Force. And I'd expect to see more high-level engagement by the Russian Air Force over the next 72 hours. So we'll have to watch this space. The question is, where has the Russian Air Force been so far? I mean, initially we saw the initial strikes. You know, the traditional way you'd wage a war is initially through offensive counter-air campaigns. So first day of the war, we saw cruise missile attacks into things like runways, surface-to-air missile sites, and airborne early warning sites, suppressing the enemy air defenses. What we'd usually expect to see behind that is an offensive counter-air missions, a series of airplanes coming in to target aircraft, be it on the ground, supported by fighters in the air, to ideally, to take out the remaining Ukrainian aircraft while they're on the ground. But if they do get airborne, take them out in the air. And yet we haven't seen that. We've seen, 300 combat aircraft of the Russian Air Force parked within range of Ukraine, but largely inactive. And what this has allowed is actually the Ukrainian Air Force to somewhat free rein at lower levels in sort of traditional defensive counter-air measures, where they've been able to attack at low level beyond the range and detection capabilities of Russian surface-to-air missiles. They've been able to attack convoys and troops and helicopters, largely with a large degree of success. And these are some of the interesting wins you've seen for the Ukrainian Air Force. The big thing is, though, what is to come. You have to wonder whether the Russian Air Force will emerge over time, and that's the real question. As to why they haven't emerged so far, I mean, there's speculation around the actual capability of the Russian Air Force versus the perceived capability of what they have. There's speculation around a lack of sophisticated precision-guided munitions and targeting pods, which allows a certain degree of standoff and to preserve range. Without those, they have to get up close and personal, which drags them to within range of things like Stinger missiles that Ukrainian soldiers can operate on the ground. If we do put a no-fly zone above that, what that is inevitably going to lead to is direct conflict between NATO pilots and Russian pilots. And that is extremely problematic in terms of the escalatory nature of what this potentially could be. So it's a very difficult situation for the West right now. I think, instinctively we want to protect, we want to put the no-fly zone over the top. But I think right now it's a very difficult proposition for NATO, and it's not one I would anticipate happening anytime soon. Sadly, it's just not something I think we're capable of doing right now politically.